Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 1 Kings chapter 2. If you have any questions or you'd like me to come speak at your church, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. You know, when somebody's sick, a good doctor always knows it's important to check the heart. It doesn't matter what you're coming in for, you got to check the heart. The heart's really important for multiple things. It helps put oxygen in your body. Oxygen comes from your lungs, goes into your heart, recirculates to the rest of the body. It helps lubricate different things. It's a really important thing to check. In 2 Kings 10, this is when we've departed thence and lighted on Jodonab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him, and saluted him. And he said unto him, Is thine heart right? Is thine heart is as my heart is with thy heart? And Jodonab answered, It is. So he's asking, do we have the same purpose in life? Are our hearts in line with each other? It's really important to check the heart because the heart basically tells you what's going to happen in your life. You can actually take a heart and transplant it with a different heart. You take out the old heart, put it in a new person's heart. In Ezekiel 36, it says, A new heart I will give unto you, and a new spirit I will put into you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk up my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. 2 Chronicles 25 says, And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, but not with a perfect heart. Psalms 51 says, Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Acts 8 says, But Peter said unto him, Thy money perishes with thee, because thou hast thought of the gift of God may be purchased with money. Thou hast neither part nor loss in this matter, for if thy heart is not right in the sight of the Lord. 1 Samuel 16 says, But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not unto his countenance, nor on the height of his stature, because I have refused him, for the Lord seeth not the man seeth. A man looketh upon the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh upon the heart. 1 Peter 3 says, Likewise ye wives, be in subjugation to your own husbands. If thou dost not obey the word, they may also without the word be won by the conversation of wiles, while they behold your chaste conversations coupled with fear. Whose adorning, let it not be with the outward adorning of plaiting of the hair, the weaving of gold, or putting on the apparel, but let the hidden man of the heart, which is not corruptible, even an ornament, be a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God in great price. Proverbs 31 says, Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far upon rubies. Her heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that she may have no need of spoils. She will do him good and not evil in any days of her life. Luke 6 says, The scribes and Pharisees watched him, whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man which has withered hand, Rise up and stand forth in the midst. And arose and he stand forth. Jeremiah 17 says, The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked, and who can know it? If the Lord searches the heart, I will try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Genesis 22 says, And it came to pass after these things, that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou love, and get thee out of the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon the mountains which I tell of thee. Isaac was Abraham's heart. Proverbs 4, Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of there are the issues of life. All throughout the Bible it talks about a man after his own heart. It mentions the heart quite often. The heart's really interesting. The blood comes in one side, meets with the oxygenated side, and the oxygenated side pumps it back in the body. And this is a big cycle here that just continues. So the question is, how is your heart? In this chapter, we're going to see an example of the great wisdom of Solomon as he tests the heart of people. In 1 Kings 2, it says, Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. and to keep the charge of the Lord thy God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whatsoever thou turnest on thyself. The Lord may continue his work, which he spake concerning me, saying, If thy children take heed in their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart, and with all their soul, thou shalt not fail thee, said he, a man in the throne of Israel. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab the son of Zeruiah did unto me, and what he did to the two captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner the son of Ner, and unto Asahel the son of Jether, whom he slayed, and shed his blood in war and peace, and put the blood of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, and his shoes that were on his feet. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not the horde heed down through the grave of peace. In Genesis 5 it says, And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination and the thoughts of his heart was evil continuously, and repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him in his heart. See, God looks at your heart and sees what your real motives are. Back to 1 Kings. But showed kindness unto the sons of Bela the Ginonite, and let them be on those who eat at thy table. For there came to me while I fled because of Absalom thy brother. And behold, thou hadst me with Shimei the son of Ger, the Benjamite of Beroth, which cursed me with a grievous curse of the day when I went to Mahanaim. But he came down to meet me at Jordan, and swore unto him by the Lord, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. Now therefore hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man, and knoweth what thou oughtest to do unto him. But his whore head brought down to the grave with blood. So David slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David. So at this point David finally died. In the days of David reigned over Israel were 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years reigned he in Jerusalem. Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and the kingdom was established greatly. And Adonijah the son of Hittite came to Bathsheba the mother of Solomon, and she said, Cometh now peacefully? And he said, Peacefully. He said, Moreover, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And she said, Say on. Now you remember the last chapter, Adonijah, he decided that he wanted to become king when David died. So he had these feasts, basically saying, I'm the new king. And he didn't invite Nathan, he didn't invite Solomon. He basically said, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to basically force myself in the kingdom. And David put Solomon in charge. And Adonijah promised that he would change his attitude. And he said, Thou knowest the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel set their face upon me, that I should reign. Howbeit the kingdom is turned about, and become my brother's, for it was his from the Lord. And now I ask one petition of thee, deny me not. And she said unto him, Say on. And he said, Speak, I pray thee, unto Solomon the king, for he will not say thee nay, that he give me Ashbeth the Shulamite to be wife. And Bathsheba said, Well, I will speak to thee unto the king. So this guy comes to Solomon's mother and says, I'm not going to talk to your son Solomon the king, because he's going to tell me no. But I'm going to come to you, that I want to have this lady to be my wife. And Bathsheba, being a smart woman, says, I'll talk to the king for you. His heart has not changed. He still thought that he should be king. And Bathsheba therefore went to the king Solomon to speak unto him for Adonijah. And the king rose up to meet her, and bowed himself unto her, and sat down on his throne, and caused a seat to be set for the king's mother, and she sat at his right hand. And she said, I desire only one small petition of thee, I pray thee, say me not nay. And the king said unto her, Ask on, my mother, for I will not say thee nay. So Bathsheba the mother said, I'm going to ask you one thing, please don't tell me no. And Solomon said, Well, sit here and ask me, and I promise I won't tell you no. And he said, Let Ashbag the Shulamite be given to Adonijah the brother to thy wife. And King Solomon answered and said unto his mother, And why dost thou ask Ashbag the Shulamite for Adonijah? Ask him the kingdom also, and he is mine older brother, even for him and for Abner the priest, and Joab the son of the Jurite. And King Solomon swore by the Lord, saying, God do so to me, and more also, if Adonijah had not spoken these words against his own life. Now therefore, as the Lord liveth, which he has established in me, and set me on the throne of David my father, who has made me a house, and he promised, Adonijah shall be put to death this day. So he promised he wouldn't try to take over the kingdom. He promised to basically change his life around, and he didn't do it. And Solomon told him, if I'm going to test your heart in the future, and if you prove to not do right, I'm going to put you to death. And he's saying he's going to put him to death now. And King Solomon said by the hand of Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, that he fell upon that he died. And 2 Samuel says, Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of the valiant man of Kezbiz, who has done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab, and went down also and slew a lion in the midst of the pit by the time of snow. And he slew an Egyptian, a godly man. An Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and slew him with his own spear. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada. He had the name among 3 mighty men. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not to the first 3, and David set him over his guard. Back to 1 Kings. And unto Abiathar the priest said unto the king, Get thee at Anathoth unto thy own fields, for thou art worthy of death. But I will not at this time put thee to death, because thou bearest the ark of the Lord God before David my father, and because thou had been afflicted in all that whereof my father was afflicted. So Solomon thrust into Ether from being priest unto the Lord, that he might fulfill the word of the Lord. And he spoke concerning the house of Eli to show him. And tidings came to Joab, but Joab had turned after Adonijah, though he turned not to Absalom. And Joab flew to the tabernacle of the Lord, and caught hold on the horns of the altar. The altar of the Lord was this thing where they would basically burn offerings, and it had four horns on the corners, and they put the blood on there. And this man grabbed hold of it. He didn't want to let go. Joab knew he was guilty of treason and worthy of death, and Solomon knew his heart had not changed. And he was told King Solomon that Joab was filled to the tabernacle of the Lord, and behold, he is by the altar. And Solomon said, Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, saying, Go fall upon him. And Benaiah came to the tabernacle of the Lord, and said unto him, Thus says the king, Come forth. And he said, Nay, but I will die here. And Benaiah brought the king word again, saying, Thus said Joab, and then he answered me. And the king said unto him, Do as he had said, and fall upon him, and bury him, that thou mayest take away the innocent blood which Joab shed from me and from the house of my father. And the Lord shall return his blood upon his own head, who fell upon 2 men more vigorous and better than he, and slew them with the sword my father David, not knowing therefore, to wit, Abner the son of Ner, captain of the host of Israel, and Ashima the son of Jether, captain of the host of Judah. Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David, and upon his seed, and upon his house, and upon his throne, shall be peace forever from the Lord. So Benaiah the son of Jehoiada went up, and fell upon him, and slew him. He was buried with his own house in the wilderness. And then he put Benaiah the son of Jehoiada in the room over the host, and Zadok the priest, and the king put the room of Abthar. And the king sent and called for Shemiel, and said unto him, Build thee a house in Jerusalem, and dwell there, go forth not, and go not forth thence any whither. If you look at Proverbs, it says, The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy gain trouble with his own house, but he that has gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked peereth over things. You know, these guys want to basically be sneaky, and Solomon's actually looking at their hearts and finding out they haven't changed. Matthew 15 says, But those things that proceeded out of thy mouth come forth from thy heart, and thy defileth the man. For out of the heart that proceedeth evil thoughts, murderers, adulterers, fornicators, thieves, false witnesses, blasphemers. Luke 6 says, A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. It's a very simple test. Shemiah, stay in Jerusalem, and you will live. Dad had told him to get Shemiah for this cursing him years ago, and Solomon knew his heart had not changed either, and he would not pass this test. Back to 1 Kings 2. And it shall be that on the day thou goest out and passest over the brook of Kidron, thou shalt know for certain that thou wilt surely die. Thy blood shall be upon thine own head. And Shmuel said unto the king, The saying is good, and my lord the king has said, So will thy servant do. And Shmuel dwelt in Jerusalem many days. And it came to pass at the end of 3 years, that 2 of the servants of Shmuel ran away to Asher son of Micah, king of Gath. And they told Shmuel, saying, Behold, thy servants be at Gath. And Shmuel arose and saddled his ass and went to Gath. And Asher said to his servants, and Shmuel went and brought his servants from Gath. And it was told Solomon that Shmuel had gone from Jerusalem to Gath and was come again. And the king sent and called for Shmuel, and said unto him, Did I not make thee swear by the Lord? And protested unto thee, saying, Knowing for a certain that the days thou goest out and walketh abroad any whiter, that thou shalt surely die. And he said unto me, That word I have heard is good. When you live under somebody else's roof, you live by their rules and you don't complain. Because you don't have an attitude problem, you have a problem with attitude, and that's my problem. You know, his sensei told his students that he had a problem with doing what he was being told to do, and he could tell by the countenance. Back to 1 Kings. When thou hast kept the oath of thy Lord, and the commandments that I have charged thee with, the king said moreover to Shmuel, Thou knowest all the wickedness which thine heart has privy to, and thou doest as David my father. Therefore the Lord shall return thy wickedness upon thine own head. And King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established before the Lord forever. So the king commanded Bethani, the son of Jehoiada, which was out, and fell upon him, and he died. And the kingdom was established in the hands of Solomon. Solomon wisely saw what was really in the heart of Joab, Shmuel, and Abijah. He knew their heart had not changed, and they needed to be dealt with for the good of the kingdom. Psalms 139 says, Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me to the way of everlasting. Guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I apologize, I was stuttering a lot. I've got an issue with stuttering and dyslexia, but I appreciate you guys watching. On the bottom right of the screen, I'm going to put the 1 Kings Bible study. Top left of the screen is going to be the Exodus Bible study. And then at bottom left is going to be a video YouTube things you're going to like. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.